Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Time to get a couple things done on Panther. I'm going to start out by replacing the spring on the wastegate actuator, this forward wastegate actuator. I got 3 different ones here. I'm going to put in the green one, I think. No. Heck, I got to look, see which one I'm supposed to put in. I'm supposed to put in the one that goes for 15 pounds. Then I'm going to replace this seat belt in here so that I can have that done. And then I'm going to run to the junkyard, try to take care of a thing or two. So let's pop the hood and get this wastegate actuator spring replaced. Wastegate actuator spring. I don't know if I can get that off without taking any of this other stuff off or not. I'm going to pull that pin, see if I can get at those 2 bolts over there and see if I can pull that out. I guess I got to pull that vacuum line off too. I don't think I could get that other bolt out without a swivel or some other tool. My battery's almost dead, so I'm gonna take this in the house, charge it up, get a swivel, come back down here, try to get that off, and go from there. End up taking my intake tube off. It's hard to reach that thing and screw without it. The heck's going on now? Oh, it's under there. Got to get it up out of there. I think I'm going to leave the dang tube on it since it's got a zip tie on there. And I don't know if I have a zip tie handy. So here it is. Wastegate actuator. I should be able to replace the spring in there, they claim. So let me get my tool to open this up. Had to be careful opening that up and replace the spring in there. Let me see what color I need. Next thing I'm going to do is pull these screws out of here, but I seen on the video they say I may actually have to remove this shaft off of here. So I'm going to get a tool, hold this, break that nut loose there, which should be 10 millimeter, remove that stuff from the shaft, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this loose and it should all come apart. These are actually 3 millimeter screws, but the T15 torque will get it loose. This, I held this with that adjustable jaw, and this is an 11, but you can probably get it off with a 12 or an adjustable jaw ring. I went on ahead and counted the turns. It was 18 turns to get that thing off the end. Now I'm going to spin that off, then I'm going to open that up. Before you take these screws out, you want to make sure you know the orientation of your vacuum hose. I got that screw there lined up with this vacuum hose, so when I take this off, I want to put it back in this orientation, which is basically 11 o'clock for me. So make sure you get that set where you want, or you can move it around to a different orientation if that'll help you access your vacuum hoses better. Pulling that last screw out, man, that thing was forcing my hand open. This is how it looks. This ball fits in there where the pressure fits in. I don't know if that's a piston or not. But anyway, you go ahead and pull this out through the hole, and now you have that. Then you pull that rubber thing off, and your spring will come off of there. This does not move. It's kind of pressed on the shaft. Next, you want to grab this. I was able to grab it with my hand. I pulled the spring back a little bit with my fingers. I grabbed this with my hand, and I started to twist it on that shaft. And I started to twist it. It started to slide down the shaft. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide this off the rest of the way, and then I'll pull the spring off, put the yellow spring on because it's for 15 psi, and then I'll slide this back on. As you can see, I got the yellow spring on. I got this slip back up there. The bend is holding it in, so I'm going to go ahead and push it through there and then lock that on top and start a couple of screws. It's a stronger spring. If you got somebody to help you hold it while you start a couple of screws, that'd be great, but don't lose any screws. It's best to do this stuff on a workbench. I twist this back on. I spun this down about 18 turns. Now I'm going to bolt this back on. Once I get this bolted on, I'm going to go ahead and slip this over the closed wastegate actuator, and then I'm going to lift it back off, turn it in 2 complete turns, pull it out, hook it over the wastegate actuator, and that'll hold the wastegate closed until it needs boost. Alright, I adjusted the wastegate actuator, cranked it out till it slid over the closed wastegate rod, then I cranked it back in 2 full turns, pulled it over the pin. It was hard to pull it with that yellow spring in there. I actually had to use a tool to pull it over the pin, and then I stuck the set pin in there. Now I'm going to put my intake tube back on, and I'll be good to go. I'm all done with that. Hopefully that spring will give me the pressure I need to get the boost I want. I really want 17, 18 pounds of boost. That's going to be plenty with this turbo I got. So I have a few springs here, extra springs. The next one after the yellow is the blue. So if the yellow don't work, I have to put this blue one on. Anyway, that's that. Let me go ahead and replace the seatbelt. I might have time to make it to the junkyard. First thing you're going to do, you replace the seatbelt, is undo the battery. So let me get this battery undone, because that will trip a SRS light if I don't. Well, how about that? My battery post was already loose. So let me go in here. I should have slid my seat forward. That would have made it easier to get this belt ring off. I may have to hook that battery back up. Let's see here. Pull that up, push that back. Try to get that unhooked back there. Yeah, let me hook that battery back up, slide that seat forward first. You can slide the seat forward with the control, with the battery connected, even if you don't have a key in the ignition. The driver's seat works for some reason. Now I want to come out here, pull my battery off, make sure it don't fall back on there. I cut these little plastic caps so I can lay them over my battery terminals. Now if I want to be extra safe, I don't want to trigger this airbag, I can pull this out of here, put that in there. So now I don't have to worry about triggering that. Now I need to get this 12 out of here, pull this away, get those 2 14s out, unplug the seatbelt. Seatbelt has this retractor in there. It plugs in there. So let me get that off there. How do you like that? I picked up the wrong seatbelt. The plug faces rear, which means I got the wrong one. So I got to go back, get the right one. Let me close this up, go upstairs, get my battery, and try to make it to the junkyard, see if I can get this fender for my buddy John, and then maybe get these tires replaced, and then maybe do a pull on the car, and then get this seatbelt replaced. I'm out here getting a mirror for a guy. This will actually be the 3rd mirror I'm getting for him. He keeps telling me I'm sending him the wrong mirror. I asked him for his VIN so I could verify the part number on there, so he sent me what I think is a part number. So we'll see how this one goes. It's off a 04 XC. So here's a charcoal canister. The hose is torn on it, and it's got this piece that goes back and plugs in front of the door. I don't even know what that is. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.